Cleveland Indians baseball. It's the last day of July, 1971. The Oakland A's are in town to take on the Cleveland Indians. The A's are in first place, but they have been struggling, and their lead over Chicago is down to 5.5 games. Cleveland had taken 2 out of 3 from California, and then Oakland came to town last night and beat the Indians 9-4. Dick Green hit 2 home runs for Oakland, and Mike Epstein hit a grand slam. And for the Indians, Vada Pinson and Eddie Leone both homered. Fred Stanley of the Indians is still day to day with a leg injury. Vita Blue got his 16th win yesterday while Steve Dunning took the loss. But right now, the Indians seem like they're in a bit of chaos, right? Maybe not chaos, but yesterday, Alvin Dark, manager of the team since, let me look here. Manager of the team since 1968, was fired. Dark became the manager of the Indians in 1968, and then a year and a half ago, the Indians decided to do away with the position of general manager and run that position by committee and basically put Alvin Dark in charge of that committee. And that just led to a period of, I'm trying to think of the right word for it. The team ended up finding itself cash poor, so they cut scouts, they cut minor league sites, they dropped out of the rookie league. I don't want to call it chaotic, but it was not seen as a sign of a healthy franchise. Gabe Paul, who had been the general manager when this reshuffling occurred, had been named team president, but he has been moved away from team president and is retaking the office of general manager. Indians coach Johnny LaPon has been named as the new manager, and minor league coach Joe Lutz has been brought up to be LaPon's replacement on the Indians coaching line. And then if that wasn't enough, Sam McDowell has jumped the team. McDowell McDowell's contract along with the contracts of Greg Nettles, Vada Pinson, and Ken Harrelson drew a fine from the commissioner's office because it they contained incentive clauses which are against the rules in major league contracts. So now McDowell and his attorney are contending that this negated McDowell's contract and he should be named a free agent. In his front office is still claiming that McDowell is under contract. Possibly because the reserve clause, and they don't think that legally McDowell and his attorney could win in court. So McDowell has left the team. He's, in fact, the second member of the Indians to have jumped the team this year. Ted Uhlaender did for a short time in early July. And McDowell had been having some trouble with Alvin Dark. While the Indians were on the West Coast, he was assessed a $1,000 fine because of something that happened on a bus ride from the airport in Los Angeles on the way to the team's hotel. And the team has announced that alcohol will no longer be served on any of the Indians team flights. So make of that as what you will. Sam McDowell's, in fact, his last appearance was Thursday night against California. And he threw a shutout. In fact, after the fine was incurred, McDowell has made two starts, one against Kansas City, one against California. Both were complete game shutouts. So there are behind the scenes negotiations about bringing him back. So we'll see what happens with that. Today, Johnny LaPond makes his debut as Indians manager. And I have been running this Indian series since 1940. And this is only the second time that an Indians manager has left during the season. The only other time before this was in 1966 when Bertie Tebbetts left, and that was more of a agreement between Tebbetts and Vernon Stouffer that it was time for Tebbetts to go. It wasn't exactly like he was fired or that he quit. This one, though, Dark was called down to the Indians' office this morning. Said that they told him that they wanted him to stay on as a scout, but reportedly he said that he signed up to be the Indians manager and he'd be the manager or nothing. So he is out, and there still are reports that the Indians are up for sale. That the Stouffer group just doesn't have the money to keep running the team. And it's believed that they're also listening to out of town interests who might be interested in moving the team. It's very well documented right now that groups in the Dallas Fort Worth area are trying to get a team to move there. In fact, it was reported that during the spring that Lamar Hunt was trying to buy the Indians, and he wanted to move the team to Dallas, but Stouffer kept upping the price, so Hunt lost interest. Other cities where it's known that there are people wanting Major League Baseball are New Orleans, where there's a new dome stadium that will be put up that will be operational in 1974. And it's also believed that Seattle is still looking for another team. And there were some people from Cleveland that were part of the front office of the Seattle Pilots. And the Indians had been rumored back in around 1964, 1965 that they might move to Seattle. So there's a little bit of whispering right now that maybe that will happen again, or maybe it will happen, and that the Indians may not be long for the city of Cleveland. All right, that's our pregame wrap up. We will be right back with the starting lineups. Okay, it's Cleveland Indians baseball. We're at Cleveland Stadium where the Oakland A's take on the Cleveland Indians. Oakland is in first place, but coming into Cleveland last night, they were on a 5-game losing streak, losing two to California, I believe. And then being swept in 3 games by the Baltimore Orioles. The Baltimore Orioles had been scuffling ahead of that as well, but the A's beat the Indians last night 9-4. Starting lineups for Oakland will be leading off the second baseman Dick Green, batting second the shortstop Larry Brown, batting third the right fielder Reggie Jackson, batting fourth the first baseman Mike Epstein, batting fifth the center fielder Rick Monday, batting sixth the left fielder Gene Tennis, batting seventh the third baseman Sal Bando, Batting ninth, the pitcher, Chuck Dobson. Dobson gets a start for Oakland. He's made 17 starts. He is 5-8 with an ERA of 4.26. He's made 2 starts against Cleveland. He has a record of 1-1 with a 4.97 ERA against the Indians. Alan Foster gets a start for Cleveland. He's made 20 starts. He has a record of 4-11 with an ERA of 4.67. He made 1 start against Oakland. He's 0-1 with a 13.50 ERA against them. It's a warm day. Down on the lakefront, it's 80 degrees, and our wind speed is 13 miles an hour in from right field. So the wind is blowing toward the lake.
Play ball.
On defense, the Indians have Chris Chambliss at first, Eddie Leone at second, Lou Camilli at shortstop, Greg Nettles at third, Frank Baker in left, Ted Uhlaender in center, Vada Pinson in right, Ray Fosse catching, and on the mound is Alan Foster. Alan Foster's last game was against Kansas City on July 24th, and the Indians won that game 4-1. He's a fastball pitcher, but he tends to keep the ball up. His biggest issue is giving up the gopher ball. He has given up 24 home runs this year in 140 2/3 innings. He's walked 64. He struck out 85. Leading off is Dick Green, who's hitting .269 with 8 home runs and 42 runs batted in. Dick Green, he had 2 home runs last night. Here's the first pitch. Outside on the black, strike one. It's fly ball in the right field. Vada Pinson dives, and he's got it. 1 out. Here is Larry Brown. He came over to Oakland from the Indians. Came over to Oakland on April 24th. And with Bert Campaneris having some injury issues, Larry Brown's been a good pickup for Oakland. He's hitting .219 with 2 home runs and 21 runs batted in. Sitting 145 in July. The 2-0 pitch. He hits a fly ball in the right field. Pinson's there, and he's got it. 2 outs. Here's Reggie Jackson. He's hitting .272 with 17 home runs, 58 runs batted in. He's hitting .372 against Cleveland, the 0-1 pitch. It's a base hit into right field. Here is Mike Epstein. He's hitting .277, 13 home runs, 41 runs batted in. He came over May 8th in a trade with Washington Senators. He had a grand slam last night. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike one. Caught the outside corner, strike 2. That was high, ball 1. Fly ball down the left field line, but that is hooking foul. Count remains 1-2. Low and inside, ball 2. Too high, ball 3, full count. The payoff pitch. Fouls it back. Count remains full. Ball 4. First walk given up by Foster. Here is Rick Monday. He's hitting .257, 20 home runs, 63 runs batted in. Rick Monday's claim to fame, he was the first ever pick in the first ever Major League draft. The first ever Major League Amateur draft. Ball 1. Fly ball down the right field line, but that is hooking foul. Too low, just low, ball 2. Outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Ball 4, second walk of the inning given up by Foster. He had got 2 quick outs, and now the bases are loaded. Here is Gene Tenace, who's hitting .329, 11 home runs, 30 runs batted in. He was kind of a surprise starter for the American League All-Star team, but he came away with the MVP from the All-Star game. He's hitting .417 against Cleveland with 2 home runs and 5 runs batted in. Curveball, ball 1. Fly ball down the left field line, that is foul. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Hits a sharp grounder to third. Nettles dives from his knees, throws to second. 3 outs. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. The A's leave the bases loaded. That was a great play by Nettles. That probably saved at least 2 runs. We go to the bottom of the first. Oakland nothing. Cleveland coming to bat. Cleveland Indians starting lineup. Leading off the right fielder, Veda Pinson. Batting second to first baseman, Chris Chambliss. Batting third to center fielder, Ted Uhlaender. Batting fourth, the third baseman, Greg Nettles. Batting fifth, the catcher, Ray Fosse. Batting sixth, the second baseman, Eddie Leone. Batting seventh, the left fielder, Frank Baker. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Lou Camilli. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Alan Foster. On defense, Oakland has Mike Epstein at first, Dick Green at second, Larry Brown at shortstop, Sal Bando at third. Gene Tennyson left, Rick Monday in center, Reggie Jackson in right, Frank Fernandez catching, and on the mound, Chuck Dobson. Chuck Dobson is 5-8, ERA of 4.26. In 118 and a third innings, he's given up 112 hits, 15 of those home runs, walked 46, and struck out 59. He is a fastball pitcher. And like Alan Foster, he tends to keep the ball up a little bit. Leading off the right fielder, Veda Pinson. He's hitting .251, 9 home runs, and 31 runs batted in. The 1-0 pitch. It's fly ball in center field. Monday drifting over, and he has it. 1 out. Here is Chris Chambliss hitting .280, 6 home runs, 24 runs batted in. Chris Chambliss is a leading candidate to be the American League Rookie of the Year. 3-2 pitch.
Take your base.
Low and away, ball 4. Here is Ted Uhlaender. He's hitting .299 with 1 home run and 26 runs batted in. Here's the pitch. There goes Chambliss. Grounder to Green. His only play is the first. 2 outs, and Chambliss takes second. Here is Greg Nettles hitting .278, 29 home runs, 89 runs batted in. He is tied for the league lead in home runs with Rico Petrocelli, and he leads the league in RBIs. Inside, ball 1. It's a fly ball in center field. Rick Monday's coming in. He's got it. 3 outs, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. We played 1 inning in Cleveland. No score. Sal Bando leads off for Oakland. He's hitting .266. 18 home runs and 54 runs batted in. Bando is a native of the Cleveland area. He was born in Cleveland. And his family now lives in Warrensville Heights. Bando attended Warrensville Heights High School and then attended Arizona State University. He was a member of the 1965 College World Series champs and was named the most outstanding player of that tournament. People unfamiliar with the Cleveland area, Warrensville Heights is a east side suburb of Cleveland, on the southeast side, near the site of the former Randall Park Mall. It's a fly ball in center field. Uhlaender going back on the track, and he's got it. 1 out. Here is Frank Fernandez. This is his second appearance with Oakland, or his second game with Oakland this year. Last game he played was April 18th against the White Sox. So he was just called back up. Looks like to replace the Dave Duncan, who is away on military duty right now. Duncan and Joe Rudy are both on military reserve duty at the moment. Let me see. I think Frank Fernandez came over from the Yankees. Yeah, he came over from the Yankees. during the off-season between 1969 and 1970. He appeared in 57 games for Oakland last year. This season, Fernandez is 1 for 2. The 0-2 pitch. Base hit up the middle. So he's 2 for 3 on the season. This is his first major league at bat since April. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Chuck Dobson. Dobson's hitting 132, no home runs, 2 runs batted in. He is 5 for 38. And 2 of those 5 hits are doubles. Dobson has been an A's mainstay since 1966 when they were still the Kansas City A's. He got off to a late start this season, though, because of an injury. He has a career record of 67 and 68. In fact, his first start of the year was on May 2nd against the Indians. And Cleveland won that game 6-1. Then his second appearance against Cleveland was July 21st when the Indians were in Oakland, and the A's won that game 5-2. Dobson, is an excellent bunter.
Ball.
He lays one down, but that's foul. Strike one. Appear to be thinking of Dave Duncan, who, spoiler alert, future member of the Cleveland Indians. He lays one down. Fosse jumps on it. His only play is first. He throws to Leone covering. And Dobson's out. 1 out. Fernandez takes second on the sacrifice. Dick Green steps in. He's 0 for 1 today. He flied out the Veda Pinson last inning. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Base hit in the left field. Fernandez rounds third. He'll score. It's 1-0 Oakland. Dick Green, let's see what he seems like he comes to play again. Yeah, he's hitting .417 against the Indians. 5 for 12 with 2 doubles and 2 home runs. I was going to say, he seems like an Indians killer this year. All right, that brings up Larry Brown, former member of the Indians. He's 0 for 1. He flied out the right field last time up. Runner on first, 2 outs. Pops it up, foul ground, third base side. Nettles is after it. He's near the seats, and he gets it. right, the Oakland had 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. They left 1 man on base. We go to the bottom of the second. Oakland leads 1-0. Leading off for the Indians in the bottom of the second is Ray Fosse. He's hitting an even .300. 6 home runs, 48 runs batted in. Fosse just returned to the Indians lineup after suffering a severely bruised hand. Here's the first pitch. Fosse hits a base hit up the middle. It says Fosse continues to hit his hot hitting against Oakland. Let's see. Yeah, he's hitting .357 against Oakland. 10 for 28 with 1 home run. That brings up Eddie Leon. He's hitting .282, 3 home runs, 35 runs batted in. Here's the pitch. Fosse goes. He slides into second. He's safe. That's stolen base number 4 for Ray Fosse. And that pitch was called a ball. So 1 ball, no strikes. No one out. Runner on second. Eddie Leon, been the regular second baseman for the entire season so far, and he is having an excellent year. Leon hits a base hit up the middle. Monday's up with it. Fosse rounds third, and he'll hold. Runners at the corner, no one out. Here's Frank Baker. He's hitting .214, 1 home run, 17 runs batted in. Baker came up on June 11th. Got off to a slow start. He's hitting the ball a little bit better. His biggest problem at the plate is striking out. He has struck out 47 times this year. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Inside, ball 1. Grounder up the middle. Green to his right, has it. To second for 1. The throw to first, not in time. Fosse scores. Game is tied. We have 1 out. Runner on first. Game is tied at 1 apiece. And here is Luke Camilli, the shortstop. He's hitting .246, no home runs, 6 runs batted in. Before this year, Camilli could not catch a break, it seemed like. He got into 14 games again in 1969. He went 1 for 32. And then last year, he got into 13 games. He was 0 for 22. So coming into this season, he was 1 for 54. This year, though, he's hitting .246. That raises career average to 139. And he has been an excellent pinch hitter this year. He's 10 for 21 as a pinch hitter with 3 doubles and 2 RBIs. He's starting today in place of the injured Fred Stanley. Fastball, strike one called. Ball one. Caught the inside corner, strike one. Gets past Fernandez. Baker's going for second. To throw to second. He's out. Two outs. The 2-2 pitch. Camille fouls it back. Strike three called. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, no one left. We played 2 in Cleveland. It is Oakland 1, Cleveland 1. Reggie Jackson leads off for Oakland. He is 1 for 1 today. He singled in the first. The 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. Here is Mike Epstein. He walked in the first inning. Epstein was a disciple of Ted Williams while playing for Washington, but was always complaining about a lack of playing time. He was a regular last season. He had 23 home runs. He had 237. His best year was 1969, Williams' first year with Washington. He got into 112 games. He had 284 with 33 home runs and 102 runs batted in. That was Ted Williams' first year as Washington manager, and so far Washington's only year as a above 500 team. In tight, ball 2. Foul ball, third base side. That was high, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Ball 4. Second walk of the game for Epstein. Here is Rick Monday. He walked in the first inning. We're on first and second, nobody out. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball, strike 1. Too low, ball 1. Lays down a bunt, Fossey on it. His only play is the first, though. Throws it to Leone. 1 out. Epstein takes second, Jackson takes third. So we have 1 out, runners on first and second. Here is Gene Tennis. He's 0 for 1. He grounded into a force play in the first inning that Greg Nettles made a great play on. It's a grounder to third. Nettles up with it. Throws a first. 2 outs. Jackson scores. Epstein is able to advance to third. Oakland takes a 2-1 lead. And here is Sal Bando. He's 0 for 1. He flied out to center in the second inning. It's a grounder down the first base line. That's foul. Too high, ball 1. Sal Bando's kid brother, Chris Bando, is in attendance tonight. It's a deep fly ball into center field. Eulander, Baker going back, and it's gone. Home run. Home run number 19 for Bando. And that'll make it 4-1 Oakland. Here's Frank Fernandez. He's 1 for 1. He singled in the second. The 1-0 pitch. Hits a grounder to third. Nettles up with it. Throws him out. 3 outs, but Oakland gets 3 runs. on one hit. No errors, no one left. We go to the bottom of the third. It is Oakland 4, Cleveland 1. Alan Foster, the pitcher, leads off for Cleveland. Foster is hitting .220. No home runs, 3 runs batted in. He is 9 for 41. He has 3 doubles. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a grounder to third. Bando's up with it. Throws him out. 1 out. Here is Veda Pinson. He's 0 for 1. He flied to Rick Monday last time up. I misspoke earlier. Before the Oakland was in Baltimore getting swept, they lost the last 2 of a 4-game series in Detroit. I hate when I misspeak. Pinson hits a base hit into right field. Here is Chris Chambliss. He walked back in the first inning. Here's the pitch. There goes Pinson. He slides. He is safe. That's stolen base number 23 for Veda Pinson. And that pitch was a ball. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Runner on second. 1 out. Fastball. Chambliss hits fly ball in center field. Monday going back. He's at the wall and it's gone. Home run number 7 for Chris Chambliss. And that cuts Oakland's lead to 4-3. Here is Ted Uhlaender. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out in the first inning. The 1-1 pitch. Pop-up, foul ground, first base side. Green is after it. And he makes a catch. 2 outs. Next up is Greg Nettles. He's 0 for 1. He flied out to Rick Monday back in the first inning. The 1-0 pitch. It's a fly ball in the right field. Reggie Jackson's back. He's on the track, and he's got it. But the Indians get 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors, no one left. We played 3 in Cleveland. It is Oakland 4, Cleveland 3. Let's take a look at some of the other games right now. Top of the third at Shea Stadium, the Cubs lead the Mets 5-0. Jim Hickman hit his 17th home run for Chicago. That is Milt Pappas against Gary Gentry. In Chicago, elder statesman Ernie Banks is sitting on 499 home runs. He's looking for his 500th career home run. Bottom of the 4th at Tiger Stadium. No score between the Angels and the Tigers. It's Clyde Wright against Les Kane. Clyde Wright is giving thought to becoming a professional golfer after his major league career ends. Top of the 1st in Milwaukee. No score between the Senators and the Brewers. And top of the 1st in Minnesota. No score between the Yankees and the Twins. That is Mel Stottlemyre against Jim Cott. Mel Stottlemyre is looking for his 15th win of the year. Leading off in the 4th for Oakland is Chuck Dobson, the pitcher. He had a sacrifice bunt in the 2nd inning. 1-1 pitch. He hits a base hit into right field. He rounds first. He's heading for second. He slides. He is safe. That is his third double of the year. His sixth hit and his third double. That brings up Dick Green. He is 1 for 2. He singled in the second, and that scored Frank Fernandez with the game's first run. Too high, ball one. It's grounder to short. Camilli has it. He looks Dobson back and throws Green out. 1 out. Here's Larry Brown. He is 0 for 2. He flied out in the first and popped out in the second. Hitting .288 with a home run with runners in scoring position. That's strike one on the curveball. Hits a shallow fly ball in the right field. Pinson coming in. He has it. And makes a catch. 2 outs. That brings up Reggie Jackson. He is 1 for 1. He singled in the first and walked in the third. Hitting .268 with a home run with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Curveball. That's called. Strike one. Low and inside. Ball one. Swing and a miss. Strike two. Outside, ball two. Jackson wasn't chasing. Strike three called. First strikeout of the game for Alan Foster. Oakland gets no runs, 1 hit, no errors. They leave 1 on base. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It is Oakland 4, Cleveland 3. It'll be Fosse, Leone, and Baker for the Indians in the fourth. Fosse is 1 for 1. He singled back in the second inning. The 2-1 pitch. It's fly ball in center field. Monday going back, and it's gone. Home run number 7 for Ray Fosse. That ties the game at 4 apiece. Just like last night, the home runs are flying out of here today. Here is Eddie Leone. He's 1 for 1. He singled in the second. The 3-2 pitch. It's grounder to short. Browns up with it. Bang, bang play. And Leone is safe. He legged that one out. Runner on first. Nobody out. Here is Frank Baker, who is 0 for 1. He grounded into a force play in the second, and that scored Ray Fosse. High and away, ball 1. Ball 2. Baker, it's a base hit up the middle. Leo round second. He's going to hold. Throw into the cutoff man. He would have been a dead dog if he would have tried for third base. Here is Luke Camilli. He's 0 for 1. He struck out in the second. Nobody out. Runners on first and second. Indians tied the game. Here in the fourth, Ray Fosse led off with a home run. And they are rallying. Changeup hit the inside corner, strike 1. High and inside, ball 1. It's a bouncer, back to the mound. Dobson has it. He throws a second for 1. And that'll be all. One out, runners at the corners. And here is Alan Foster. He's 0 for 1. He grounded a third last time up. Playing him in for the bunt. Here's the pitch. Suicide squeeze. Foster hits pop-up right back to the mound. Dobson has it. And he'll throw it to third. They caught Leone off third. So the Indians run themselves out of a rally. But they got 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. They left 1 man on base. We played 4. It is Oakland 4, Cleveland 4. Let's watch that last play again. Yep, popped it right to Dobson. Dobson caught it and threw to Bando for the easy double play. In the top of the 5th for Oakland, it will be Mike Epstein, Rick Monday, and Gene Tennis. Here is Mike Epstein. He walked in the 1st and he walked in the 3rd. Whoop. There's that play again. I didn't mean to do that. The 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. That's strikeout number 2 for Alan Foster. Here is Rick Monday. Monday has a 7-game hitting streak. He walked in the 1st and he hit a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd. The 1-0 pitch. It's fly ball in center field. Eulander drifting back. He's at the track and he's got it. 2 outs. And here's Gene Tennis. He's 0 for 2 today. Grounded into a forced play in the 1st. And he grounded out in the 3rd, and that scored Reggie Jackson. The 1-1 pitch. It's a grounder to 3rd. Nettles to his left has it. Throws him out. 3 up and 3 down. Nothing across for Oakland in the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It is Oakland 4, Cleveland 4. Vada Pinson leads off for the Indians in their half of the 5th inning. He is 1 for 2. He singled in the 3rd. The 0-2 pitch. Changeup. Strike 3. Pinson was way out in front of that one. Strikeout number 2 for Dobson. Here is Chris Chambliss. He's 1 for 1. He walked in the 1st. And he hit a 2-run homer in the 3rd. The 1-2 pitch. It's fly ball in center field. Monday drifting over, and he's got it. 2 outs. Here's Ted Eulander, who's 0 for 2. Grounded to 2nd in the 1st and popped to 2nd in the 3rd. The 1-1 pitch. It's a grounder to 3rd. Bando's up with it. Throw to 1st. 3 outs. Nothing across for Cleveland. In the 5th, we have an official game in Cleveland. We played 5. It is Oakland 4, Cleveland 4. This is WJST in Parma, Norwich, Tuscaloosa, and Utah. We'll be right back. Oakland has 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors. They've left 5 men on base. Cleveland has 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors. They've left 2 men on base. Oakland scored first back in the 2nd inning. With 1 out, Frank Fernandez singled. Chuck Dobson sacrificed him to 2nd. And then Dick Green singled, and Fernandez scored. That made it 1-0 Oakland. Cleveland retaliated in the bottom of the 2nd. Fosse led off with a single. He stole 2nd. Took 3rd on Leone's single. And then Frank Baker grounded out to Dick Green. Green tried to start a double play. And Fosse scored. That made it Oakland 1, Cleveland 1. Then in the top of the 3rd, Reggie Jackson walked. Then Mike Epstein walked. With runners on 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Monday hit a sacrifice bunt that moved the runners to second and third. Gene Tennis hit a grounder to third. That scored Reggie Jackson, making it 2-1 Oakland. Then Sal Bando hit a two-run homer, making it 4-1 Oakland. Bottom of the third with one out. Pinson singled. He stole second. And then Chris Chambliss hit a two-run homer. That made it Oakland 4, Cleveland 3. And then in the bottom of the fourth, Ray Fosse led off the inning with a solo home run, tying the game at 4, and that's where we stand right now. Leading off for Oakland in the 6th is Sal Bando. He's 1 for 2. And as I mentioned, he hit a two-run homer in the third. The 0-2 pitch. Caught the inside corner. Strike 3 called. That's strikeout number 3 for Alan Foster. Here's the catcher, Frank Fernandez. He is 1 for 2. Frank Fernandez, this is his second game of the year. His last game was April 18th. He was called up to replace Dave Duncan, who is on military reserve duty at the moment. Fernandez singled in the second. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball. He hits a fly ball in the center field. Uhlaender drifting under it, and he's got it. 2 outs. And here's the pitcher, Chuck Dobson. He's 1 for 1. Hit a sacrifice bunt in the second, and he doubled in the fourth. The 3-1 pitch. It's a grounder at short. Camilli's up with a throw to first. Bang, bang, play. Ooh, Dobson legged it out. That's Dobson's second hit of the game. He kind of topped that ball, and it took a little bit of time getting to Camilli. Dick Green steps in. He is 1 for 3. He singled back in the second, and that scored Frank Fernandez with the game's first run. Fastball, ground ball down the third base line. That's foul. Curveball, high and outside. Ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Low, ball 2. Outside, ball 3. Full count, 2 outs. Runners on first. The payoff pitch. Fastball, ball 4. 5th walk of the game given up by Foster. Here's Larry Brown. He's 0 for 3. He flied out in the first. Popped out in the third and flied out in the fourth. Fosse goes to talk to Foster. Strike 1 called. Swing and a miss. He lunged at that one. Strike 2. Strike 3 called. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's Oakland 4, Cleveland 4. Getting up to warm up for the Indians is Ed Farmer. Greg Nettles will start off the 6th inning. He's 0 for 2. He has a pair of flyouts today. The 1-2 pitch. Base hit into right center. Monday's up with it. Nettles rounds first. He's heading for second. He slides. He's safe. That's Nettles' 11th double of the year. Here's Ray Fosse. He's 2 for 2 today. He singled in the second, and he hit a solo home run in the fourth. Ball one. Swing and a miss, strike one. These 1971 Indians, they are not a good team. Don't get me wrong. They have a record of 38 and 67 right now. But they play some exciting games. Their hitting isn't bad. It's the pitching that's really doing them in this year, especially the bullpen. But they, I don't think they're as bad as their record would suggest. A little bit of pitching, and I think they would be a decent team. The only teams in the major leagues right now with a worse record than Cleveland are Montreal and Philadelphia in the National League. Cleveland has the worst record in the American League. The 2-1 pitch. Curveball, he fouls it back. Strike two. Evens the count at 2-2. It's fly ball into center field. Monday racing over at the track, at the wall. He's got it. Nettles tags. He'll take third. Nettles on third. One out. And up steps Eddie Leone. Leone is 2 for 2 today. He singled in the second, and he had an infield single in the fourth. If he puts the ball in play just about anywhere, the Indians could take the lead. Curveball, he fouls it back, strike one. Grounder right back to the box. Throws it first, 2 outs. Probably the only thing he could have done putting the ball in play and not scored Nettles was that. 2 outs. Here's Frank Baker. He's 1 for 2. He grounded into a force play in the second. That scored Ray Fosse, and he singled in the fourth. Change up across the knees, strike one. Low and away, ball one. It's a base hit into right field. Nettles scores. The Indians take the lead. Dick Green got a bad jump on that one. Here is Luke Camilli. He's 0 for 2. He struck out in the second. I wonder what happened. It looks like Camilli missed the time at bat. Yeah, he sure did. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. Yeah, it looks like the Indians batted out of order. They sure did. They batted out of order in the fourth inning. Nobody caught it. I certainly didn't. Swing and a miss, strike one. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Camille hits a base hit into right field. Jackson's up with it. Baker will take third. Runners at the corners. 2 outs. Pitch hitting for Alan Foster will be Chuck Hinton. Hinton's hitting .212, 2 home runs, 13 runs batted in. As a pinch hitter, he's hitting .250 with 1 home run, 4 runs batted in. I think I may have to send this game into the support desk to I don't know though, but it's so close to having Baseball 2026 released. May just put it down as one of those things that happens every so often. I've seen that happen at the ballpark. And I may have seen it happen while I was playing a game, but I sure don't remember it. Outside and low, ball one. Indians lead 5-4. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. High and outside, ball 2. Caught the outside corner, strike 1. Hinton hits a fly ball in the left field. Tennis on the track. He is there and he's got it. 3 outs, but the Indians get 1 run. 3 hits, no errors. They left 2 on base. We go to the 7th inning. Cleveland leads 5-4. Ed Farmer's coming in to pitch. Probably would have rather gone with Vince Colbert at this point in the game. But with McDowell out for the time being, might need Colbert to start tomorrow. Ed Farmer's making his 23rd appearance of the season. He has a record of 3-3, no saves, an ERA of 5.76. In 54 2/3 innings, he's given up 65 hits, 12 of those home runs. Walked 40, struck out 37. Ed Farmer's a rookie this year. He was called up on June 1st. He is a Chicago native. Yeah, it looks like it may be Colbert pitching tomorrow. Leading off in the 7th inning is Reggie Jackson. He's 1 for 2. He singled in the first, walked in the third, and struck out in the fourth. Ed Farmer, he throws some pretty serious heat. Not quite McDowell, Dunning, or Hennigan level, but he is fast enough. He keeps it high, so he is susceptible to giving up the home run. The 2-0 pitch. Jackson hits fly ball in the right field. Pinson's there, and he's got it. 1 out. Here is Mike Epstein. He's 0 for 1. He walked in the first, walked in the third, and he struck out in the 5th. The 0-1 pitch. Hits a fly ball in the right field. Pinson's there, and he's got it. 2 outs. Here is Rick Monday. Monday has a 7-game hitting streak. He is 0 for 1. He walked in the first. He had a sacrifice bunt in the third, and he flied out to center in the 5th. The 2-2 pitch. It's a base hit in the right field. Pinson throws it back in, and Monday holds with a single. Here is Gene Tennis, who is 0 for 3. Grounded into a force play in the first. Grounded to third in the third. That scored Reggie Jackson. And he grounded to third in the 5th. So he is grounded to Greg Nettles 3 times. Curveball. He hits fly ball in the left field. Baker is there, and he's got it. 3 outs, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It is Cleveland 5, Oakland 4. Let's go back and look around the league again. Bottom of the 6th at Shea Stadium. It is the Cubs 8, Mets 1. Duffy Dyer hit his first home run of the year for the Mets. It's Milt Pappas against Tug McGraw. Bottom of the 7th in Detroit, Angels and Tigers tied at 1. It's Clyde Wright against Tom Timmerman. Bottom of the 3rd in Milwaukee, that is Washington 4, Milwaukee nothing. Toby Harrah hit his 3rd home run for Washington. That is Thompson for Washington against Bill Parsons for Milwaukee. And bottom of the 3rd in Minnesota, Yankees and Twins tied at 1. That's Mel Stottlemyre against Jim Cott. And in the bottom of the 7th, Vada Pinson leads off for Cleveland. He is 1 for 3. He singled in the 3rd. The 1-1 pitch. Hits a grounder to second. Green has it. Throws him out. 1 out. Here's Chris Chambliss. He's 1 for 2. He walked in the first, and he hit a 2-run homer in the 3rd. The 0-1 pitch. It's fly ball in the right field. Jackson's going back, and it's gone. Home run number 8 for Chambliss. That's his 2nd home run today. And it's 6-4 Cleveland. That's a 3rd home run for the Indians today. Chambliss has 2. Fosse has 1. And Salbando has 1 on the Oakland side. Here is Ted Uhlaender. He's 0 for 3. Nettles is on deck. The 1-2 pitch. Pop-up foul ground. First base side. Epstein's there, and he's got it. 2 outs. And here's Greg Nettles. He's 1 for 3. He doubled in the 6th. One pitch. He hits a little blooper to first base. That is right at Mike Epstein. He makes the catch. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. No one left. We played 7 in Cleveland. It is Cleveland 6, Oakland 4. For Oakland in the top of the 8th, it will be Sal Bando, Frank Fernandez, and the pitcher spot. Sal Bando's 1 for 3. He hit a solo home run in the 3rd. The 2-2 pitch. It's a fly ball in center field. Eulander to his right. Has it. 1 out. Here's Frank Fernandez. He's 1 for 3. He singled back in the 2nd inning. The 2-0 pitch. Base hit into right field. Fernandez rounds first. Going for second. He slides. He is safe. That is his first double of the year. Here's the pitcher's spot. Dobson's 2 for 2 today. Hit a sacrifice. He doubled in the 4th, singled in the 6th. See if they send him up or if it will be a pinch hitter. Nope. Mike Hegan coming in a pinch hit. Mike Hegan grew up in the Cleveland area. His father was longtime Indians catcher Jim Hegan. Jim Hegan, now a coach for the New York Yankees. Yankees originally drafted Mike Hegan, and he started his career with them. He went to Seattle in the expansion draft. Went with the Pilots to Milwaukee, and he was traded from Milwaukee to Oakland on June 14th. Mike Hegan is a graduate of St. Ignatius High School in Cleveland. One of my high school's biggest rivals. And at one point around 1960, Mike Hegan was voted the Catholic High School Player of the Year in the state of Ohio. He's 1 for 9 as a pinch hitter. Hitting 200 with Oakland. No home runs, no runs batted in. St. Ignatius is a Catholic high school in the Ohio City neighborhood of Cleveland, near where my mother grew up. At the shoulders, ball 1. Too low, ball 2. Another one too low, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Hegan hits a liner down the first base line. That's foul. It's a liner right back to third. Nettles is right there. And he's got it. 2 outs. Fernandez able to get back to third. Here is Dick Green. He's 1 for 3. He singled in the 2nd. He walked in the 6th. Dick Green, he had 2 homers last night. He represents the tying run. Oh, they're calling him back. Tommy Davis will pinch hit for Dick Green. Dick Williams, the Oakland manager, makes liberal use of his bench strength. Davis is hitting .270, 2 home runs, 13 runs batted in. As a pinch hitter, he's hitting .148 with 1 home run, 2 runs batted in. Davis looked like he was on his way to superstardom with the Dodgers until he broke his leg in 1965. Came back from that, becoming a regular again with the Mets in '67. And he's played with the White Sox, the Astros, the Seattle Pilots, and Oakland. He was the Rookie of the Year back in 1960. He's still a good player, but he's not playing at the level that he was before his leg was broken. High, ball one. Caught the outside corner, strike one. Foul tip, strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Strike three called. Oakland had no runs, 1 hit, no errors. They left the runner in scoring position. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It is Cleveland 6, Oakland 4. Bert Campaneris coming in to play shortstop for Oakland. New pitcher is Jim Roland. He's making his 30th appearance of the year. He has a record of 2-2 with 2 saves, an ERA of 2.86. In 28 and a third innings, he's given up 23 hits, 2 home runs. He has walked 16. He struck out 19. Tommy Davis remains in the game at second base. So Roland will be in the second spot in the batting order. That will lead off the 9th inning. So if Farmer is still in the game, we'll probably see either Blefary or La Russa as a pinch hitter. Dick Williams has Kurt Blefary, George Hendrick, a rookie, and Tony La Russa still on the bench. Leading off for Cleveland in the bottom of the 8th is Ray Fosse. He's 2 for 3. He singled in the second, and he hit a solo home run in the 4th. That tied the game at 4 apiece. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Strike 3. Fernandez dropped the ball. He had to throw Fosse out at first. 1 out. Here's Eddie Leone. He's 2 for 3. He singled in the second, and he hit a infield single in the 4th. The 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Strikeout number 2 for Jim Roland. And here's Frank Baker. He's 2 for 3. He grounded into a force play in the second. That scored Ray Fosse. He singled in the 4th. And he had a clutch single in the 6th. That scored Greg Nettles and put the Indians ahead 5-4. The 2-2 pitch. Hits a grounder to second. Tommy Davis up with it. Throw to third or first. 3 outs. Nothing across for Cleveland. In the 8th, we go to the 9th inning. It is Cleveland 6, Oakland 4. For Oakland in the 9th, it will be the pitcher spot. Reggie Jackson and Mike Epstein. Ooh, Roland's hitting. The 0-1 pitch hits a fly ball in the left field. 1 out. That was Roland's first at bat of the season. Here's Reggie Jackson. He is 1 for 3. He singled in the 1st and walked in the 3rd. The 3-2 pitch. Hits a bouncer to second. Leone, he was playing Jackson a pull. And he was able to get it and throw Jackson out. That's 2 outs. Regular coverage, that might have got through for a hit. Oakland's down to their last out, and here is Mike Epstein. He's 0 for 2. He has a pair of walks, a strikeout, and he flied to right in the 7th inning. The 0-2 pitch. It's fly ball in the right field. Pinson going back at the wall. That's gone. Home run, number 14 for Epstein. That's his second home run this weekend. And Oakland closes the Indians lead to 6-5. And here's Rick Monday. He's 1 for 2. He walked in the first, sacrifice bunted in the third, flied out in the 5th, and he lined a single to right field in the 7th. So Monday represents the tying run. The 0-1 pitch. Bouncer up the middle. Leone to his right has it. Throws him out. And that's the game. Oakland got 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, no one left. But it's not enough. The Indians win 6-5. It's 6 runs, 11 hits, no errors for Cleveland. They left 4 men on base. 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors, 9 runners left for Oakland. Alan Foster gets the win. He's 5-11. Chuck Dobson takes the loss. He's 5-4. And Ed Farmer gets his first save. Star of the game is Chris Chambliss. He went 2 for 3. He had 2 home runs, drove in 3 runs. Alan Foster, he had a reasonably good start. 6 innings pitched. He gave up 6 hits, 4 runs. They were all earned. Gave up 1 home run. Walked 5. He struck out 4. Gave up a home run to Sal Bando. Time of today's game, 2 hours and 46 minutes. Indians didn't look too bad today. They were down 4-1 in the 3rd, but they came back, went ahead, but Oakland rallied in the 9th with Mike Epstein hitting a solo home run, but it wasn't enough. Time of today's game, 2 hours and 46 minutes. Hope you enjoyed this game. I know I did. Once again, final score from Cleveland, Indians 6, A's 5. Thank you for watching.